Okay. We're holding now Yom Chamishi, or Arli Yom Shishi now. Today was the 5th day of Selichos. This year it's a very long Selichos. That means we had a whole week from 6 days this week, and then plus Erev Rosh Hashanah. Some years you have only 4 days of Selichos. Actually, I always have this feeling, and I'm being honest, I think I try to be an honest person. It's hard to say and to say and to say, and then you finish, and then you have to daven Shachris, and again to say and say and say. For me, it's hard. And I did find the Eitz a few years ago. The Eitz is to think, not just to say, but to also think. Think why we're saying selichos. What is selichos? Think about the words that we're saying. Pay attention to the words. Not shake yourself, and not to make faces, and not to wave your hands, and not to raise your voice. Maybe a little bit. Think what you're
Rabbi Kaplan.
And
Rabbi Kaplan, hello?
Yeah.
I just mentioned a few words I saw today in one of the rags, as you call them.
Rags means newspapers that they put into the mailboxes for free here in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah. So I was looking at they had pictures of all the Gedolim. You mentioned waving your hands. Now, it's Yedua for Rav Metzapi, especially from Rav Moshe Wolfson, that to raise your hand above your head is a very dangerous thing. It means you have to have complete... Oh, yeah, what does it say there?
It brings from the Zohar that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, but I saw one of the big Admorim, the Admor Mivisionist Shlita, Taka does it. Maybe we should say...
Well,
and I've seen personally the Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Shmuel Auerbach, also does it.
But maybe when you're davening, you're allowed to do it.
No.
Without davening.
No. In davening, you're not allowed to do it.
Oh.
And it's based on the Zohar that Moshe Rabbeinu raised his hands when he prayed for the Barad.
Yeah.
And it's there. It says it's very dangerous. You can do exercise. If your doctor tells you to do exercise, you're allowed to do it. But not during davening.
Well, let's not get too much off the subject. So, I was thinking, what is selichos? What are we doing over here? And I have to admit that this is the first time in the 63 years that I've been living in this world. And by the way, my birthday was last Monday. This is the first time that I start thinking, what is selichos? Now, when I was a child in common age, the Mashiach Ramosh Stan said a famous word. We don't have to say selichos, we have to ask for selichos. Ask for selichos means forgiveness. We have to ask for selichos. That's what he said. So this was a word that was said then. And this was said then 50 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, I went to a shul in Givat Shul, and the Rav over there got up in Friday night before selichos, and he says, we're going to start saying selichos Motzei Shabbos. Well, really, it's a mistake. You don't say selichos, you ask for selichos. I thought to myself, well, 50 years ago when I was in Yeshiva Ketana, I heard that, what are you saying that? Say something new about it. But this has a lot to do with, I think, last week's talk, or 2 weeks ago's talk. I'm not going to go into it again. But I started thinking, what is selichos? If you pay attention to the selichos that we say, you'll see and most of it is talking about Taurus of Klal Yisrael under the nations that we're in. And I'm talking, let's take an example from today's Slichas L'Yom Chamishi of Minik Poland, which is what I say. I mean, in the shuls where I go, they say, look what it says over here. Slicha Yud Daled, the second Slicha of the day. Look what it says. Hine ha'eis taviach latchukim. Tchukim is those that are pressured. And then it says, Yomim merabim lechutzim udfukim. We're pressured and we're dafuk. Every Israeli you ask, they know what dafuk means. Dafuk means you're banged, I don't know how to say it in English, downtrodden, suffering. Tfukim, kol chosru, mituv reikim. And levoim, the lions, shinem alemo chorkim, how do you say, they're clenching their teeth on them. I don't know how exactly to say it. And it says they're pitsui chaburus. They have sores on their bodies. Veivorem misparkim. Look how we're talking. We're talking about our situation amongst the nations. And I looked a little bit in the slichas of Aseret Shemei Tshuva. Rov Klal Yisrael, Ruba de Ruba of Klal Yisrael, say slichas during Aseret Shemei Tshuva, right? As we know. Look in slichas Samach Dalet of Aseret Shemei Tshuva. Eich ucha lavo adecha v'ovdei zuloscha lo azavuni lovdecha. Those that they worship others, idols, they don't let me worship you. And we keep on saying over and over again, Eich. Every piece starts with Eich. Eich golisi v'elech b'chohelech v'felech. How is it that I went in Golus in every nation and in every, how do you say it, Azor? Eich olchun acholim. Then he goes, look at them. V'heima choshim chochmosum keheman v'darda, he says. V'ani bar v'lo eda. They think that they're so smart, like Haman and Darda. Those are the great chachomim of ancient times. And I'm a fool and I don't know. How could they think like that? The real chacham is by Jewish people, and they think they're smart, they're intelligent. And you just see how they talk. They want to say one little thing, so it takes them 10, 15 minutes to say it. And that's called intelligent. It's called eloquent. They talk eloquently. But what do they say? They say some pashut thing, like, we have to create jobs for America. America's falling apart. Businesses are moving to Mexico. We have to create jobs. No, very, very smart. Wow.
Rabbi Kaplan.
Yeah.
I'll just say a little story here I heard from a barrel of wine once.
Yeah.
A famous TV producer went to the shul and the rabbi was speaking. And it was, went up to the rabbi after the drasha and said, Rabbi, it's such a drasha. Do you think you could, make this drasha in 10 minutes instead of an hour?
Yeah.
So, of course, he thought, he wants me to say it on television. So the rabbi said, yes, of course I could. So the producer said to him, so why didn't you?
Yeah, very good, very good. He says, that's what the Bala Slicha sang there. Nah, it just brought me, why did I say about businesses moving to Mexico? Because last night I was by my daughter, so she showed me the part of the debates between Hillary and Donald. And he sang over there, how America's falling apart and businesses are moving out of America to Mexico, and so he's going to create jobs. I mean, I hope he gets in, and that's besides the point. But I mean, what's the big chachma? We have to create jobs. But the question is, can we create jobs? And besides, if that's what has to be done, so somebody else could also do it. But anyway, so I'm saying, and we keep going on and on. How did Hashem bang me and my wounds weren't healed? And they, Nofes Tufim Ochlim Cholov Udvash, they're eating milk and honey, Vaniko Esavivosh, and I'm drying up like. And look what it says in the next piece. How is it that those that come out of Yishmael, the Arabs, they're surrounding me? Hakorim novi liishmeolam lo niba. I think it means also what's it called, Muhammad. They call novi to a man that never was menabe. Here it says over here the name of the mechaber of this slicha was Rabbeinu Yitzchak Bar Sha'adia or Sa'adia. It sounds like a Sephardic name, although I don't know. In those days they were Sephardim and Ashkenaz. I really don't know, but it says here, Akarim Novi Lish Me'elam Lo Niba, unless it means also Ish of the Naturus. But it says here, Eich Svavuni Kedor Kitruni Dedonu Shva. Those are the Bnei Shmuel, from the Shnei Masar Nasim Yolid. And but what's going on here? We're getting up early in the morning. We're making an effort to get out of bed. What are we talking about? We're talking about the suffering of Klal Yisrael. It's not like the rabbi said over there in the shul in Givat Shul that he said we have to ask for slichas. It's not that. That's not what it's talking about. We're talking about the situation that Klal Yisrael is in. Talking about Klal Yisrael, talking about the suffering of Klal Yisrael. What does that have to do with El? What does that have to do with getting ready for the Yom Adin? And what does that have to do with the word slichas? I mean, but anybody who asks such a question didn't think. We have just think a little bit and we'll understand it. And it came to me an idea today. First of all, I can't be nimna from saying that this slichus, that's poetry. It's not tefillas. I mean, it maybe doesn't sound so good, but these slichus, what I just read for you, and all the other slichus, it's poetry. It's people that they, in the time of the Rishonim, we don't have that nowadays. We're not living in that ruach, but they were in the time of their Hashem. There were people that wrote poetry, and it became slichas and it became piyutim in the davening of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. I think poetry means expressing feelings, finding a way to express feelings, and not just say it in any language, only make it sound good, make it sound beautiful, make it sound deep and emotional, make it arouse deep feelings within the person. And in the same time, while you're trying to write the language and find the words, they also were trying to express themselves. I think it's a very hard thing to do. In the same time that you're trying to find words and trying to arrange words, to also keep your feelings awake, keep your feelings, your emotions burning inside of you. I think it's a big chokmah to be able to do that. I don't believe that when they wrote these piyutim and slichas, they were just sitting there and thinking of language to use and thinking of words to use. I'm sure that these great Kadoshei Elyon that wrote the piyutim and the slichas, they were feeling strong feelings, and they were expressing it, trying to express it. I always remember that in the kinnis of Tisha B'Av, in the end of the kinnis, there's the kinnis that start with Tzion. The you get such a feeling over there for what Eretz Yisrael is, how holy Eretz Yisrael is. Rabbi Yitzchak,
Rabbi Kaplan?